Oh, it's Tuesday, so y'all know what it is. It's time for Men's Room. Yeah. I'm trying to get you on here. Watching we come out designers, walk in the mall, they eyeing us. Walk in the mall, we buying it. Sure that we on a vibe, couple we on a ride. Watching we run this young money in the clock. Remember was young, couldn't get this. Remember them niggas was faking it. Now my this is making it. Most of them can't relate to this. Remember was young in this. Remember was gunnish. Now I'm a boss bitch. Watching my moguls. Got all my isn't running. We got down in a minute, y'all. All right. Welcome to Men's Room. We got Facebook Live over here. We got Instagram Live over here. Let's see what we gonna do. Real quick. Hold on 1 second, y'all. You know what it is, y'all. Sometimes it takes a quick second to get things out. We want to get the notifications out. We want to get those notifications out. Notifications out. All right. It's Tuesday. We are here for another Men's Room show. Tonight's topic, guys, we are going to be discussing tonight we are talking about things
that fathers should be teaching their sons and are fathers doing that at the current moment.
She working, she on my line. She working at 9 to 5. You can come over. You can come over. She working at 9 to 5. Shorty be on my
So,
line. You can come over.
what are some of the things that y'all think a father should be teaching his son? Some of these things also will refer to daughters as well. They will apply to daughters as well. But this is men's room, so we are going to be going over things that fathers should be teaching their sons. So let's start. We got the invites out, the notifications are out, so we may begin. Now, I talked about this before. I talked about this in the past, one of my past videos, because I heard this a lot. And I feel it's because, they say a lot of people did not have fathers, didn't have male role models and stuff. So it's like, it's going to be hard for a father to teach his daughter how to properly take care of themselves, groom themselves, clean themselves. I'm not going to say groom because you're not at the age. Now, the age I'm talking about, they're not at the age they need to groom. All right, but cleaning themselves. As a father, there's certain things you have to teach your son. Certain areas you have to take care of, because men sweat more. We're athletic, we're energetic, we run around and we don't care. We jump in mud, we get dirty, we get filthy. You wear the same socks for a few days straight. Listen, boys do stuff like that. Might wear the same boxes for a few days straight, all right? If you have sons, if they wore tighty whities, they might have a little streak in them, all right? So this is very important for the men that are going to be having children soon. From the time that they can talk a little bit, make them those noises and stuff, you should be showing your son, listen, son, you need to do this. You need to do this. The steps, not just, get in there and wash yourself and think that they're supposed to know what's going on because they might have took a couple showers with you when you was holding them and stuff, but they was babies. They're not going to remember that. And we might tell them once, and I'm talking about sons. You might tell your son once, hey, you got to clean between your toes. You got to take the cloth and clean between your backside. You got to clean underneath, all those sweaty areas. You got to scrub your pits, all right? Now, by the time you got to your backside, he stopped listening. He's probably thinking about throwing a football or playing video games or something like that. He done. So you're gonna have to tell him on a regular basis for a while. So, for example, when he's outside having fun and he comes in and his socks stink, don't just be like, your socks stink, boy, go put them over there. No, obviously, he is missing a step while he is taking care of himself, and he is not taking care of his feet, which is going to cause him to have athlete's feet and bad feet. So, to avoid that, when you see these little things, after you've done, told them 20 times, when you see these little things, you have to reinforce them and explain, this is why your feet stink. If you took an extra 30 seconds to just scrub each foot, you would avoid this problem. So that's just an example when I'm saying to clean themselves. All right? You might have to teach your son how to wipe properly. And these are things, we might not talk about. You be like, oh, mom will tell them. But, they're boys. They probably look at you and go, my dad probably the same way. Because a lot of sons want to emulate their father. So they think some of the stuff they doing, you do. So you might have to tell them, explain, or numerous times. You might get frustrated. You might get angry. I remember I had twins. I was 18. I was a kid myself pretty much. So it was hard for me to explain to another child how to take care of himself when I didn't know how to take care of myself. You understand what I'm saying? So, as you know better, you do better. And I always say that. As you know better, you do better. So you want to make sure that they know how to make sure that they are clean on a regular basis and they actually care about it. We have to find ways to not just punish them for doing these things, but ways to get through to them so that they understand why they need to do these things. All right, fellas. So that's one thing you're gonna have to do. Small things. Teach them how to ride bikes, throw footballs, throw baseball, swing the bat. Small things. Stuff like that. I'm not gonna go in depth on that because I don't think I need to. A lot of our sons, a lot of boys are raised with their mother a lot. They're around their mother a lot. And if you're lucky, if you vetted right and you got the right one, she has feminine traits, feminine qualities that a lot of our sons pick up, that a lot of us men have picked up growing up. So sometimes it's our job to let them know that men don't move like that. Because sons will say stuff like, oh, well, mommy does it. Okay, but mommy is a woman. That is a feminine thing you're doing. I need you to emulate me, copy me. Do you see me doing that? No. So I need you to do masculine things. Because you don't want your son confused when he's growing up. And I'm not talking about who he likes. I'm talking about he when he's walking around and say he's heterosexual, he's with his boys, and he's out and he has these feminine qualities like child or girl or bi or talking like this, like, and when he said walk in certain ways, dress in certain. So I'm not talking about if they have a sexual certain I'm not talking about their sexual preference, okay? I'm talking about if you have a heterosexual son, if he's around his mother a lot, he's gonna pick up feminine traits. Things we gotta teach them, like, okay, when you were younger, you saw your mother carry bags because you were too small to carry bags. But as you grow older and you grow stronger, your mother, your sister, your grandmother, the females around you should not be carrying those bags. Why? Because being born a male, you are stronger. So, with that comes responsibility. So, if you see, if your son's around his mother and he's strong enough to carry something, and I don't mean struggle, but actually, just carry it. You tell him, hey, son, you see dad always grabs mom's bag, but I'm not always around. So when I'm not around, you should grab mom's bag. You know why? Because it makes her happy and it makes it so she's less stressful and so you guys can have more fun. You have to put it in a way. And I'm not like a teacher or nothing. I'm just thinking it might work. I might be wrong. I might watch this video and go talk to my wife because that's what she does. And she might say, guess what, bro? You was wrong. But, I mean, I don't see how it would hurt. Okay? I don't see how it hurt. You teach them open doors. You know, when you're with your mom, your sister, your grandmother, the females around you, your girl, whatever, you open the door. You open the door for females. That's something you definitely want to teach your son. Something I was taught was when we're walking down the street, you walk on the outside as a man. So this is another thing we have to teach our sons. They say it's chivalry and they say it's dead, but it's not. I mean, a lot of these young men, they just haven't been taught it, so they don't know. So if you haven't been taught it and you don't know, how can you be expected to do it? So you want to teach them to be a gentleman, open doors, walk on the outside, be courteous, be respectful, things of that nature. Like, a lot of us think and were raised that men are supposed to be tough all the time, and you are. You don't want to teach your son to be emotional and vulnerable and show his emotions and all that, but you don't want to teach him to ball it up either. He has to find a way to express it and get it out. So you want to make sure that that doesn't happen. That does not happen. You want to give him an outlet, because a lot of us say, "You're a man, hold it in. You're a man, you're supposed to take it," and then you explode and end up in jail for the rest of your life. And this happens to a lot of men that weren't directed right as boys. So you want to make sure that they're courteous, especially when it comes to women. You open doors. Like I said, you walk on the outside. What am I missing, guys? Would you say, Mike, you take 3 or 4 showers a day? I used to take 2 in the summer, but whoo. Yeah. The boys will go a couple of days without showers. Just be ripping and running. So you want to teach them that, because you're stronger, you have certain jobs, certain responsibilities that come with the territory pretty much. It just is what it is, and it comes with the territory. And a lot of sons are going to be raised in this world where they're going to say, we're all equal, and why should I carry her bag, and blah, da, 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 da. And it's because you are supposed to be the man. You are supposed to lift things. So your woman's supposed to have her nails done. How can she be lifting things with her nails done? Do you want a woman touching you with rough hands? And that's when they get older. So let's go back to when they're younger. All right? The reason you need to do it is because it makes your mother happy. It's the right thing to do. You've been seeing me do it. So you know it's the right thing to do. You're supposed to be a protector. You walk on the outside, so if something happens, you'll see it and you can protect. You walk on the outside also because when prostitution was going on, and I'm not saying say this to your son when he's a child and stuff, but when prostitution was going on, they was walking with a man or the pimp, the woman would walk on the street and it would let people know that she was for sale. And I actually did this experiment walking down the street because somebody didn't believe me. And I said, listen, baby, I'm telling you, I'm walking on the outside, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, something like that. And we was just walking, took a walk real quick, walking. I said, all right, walk on the outside. Walked on the outside. I'm not even exaggerating. Less than 3 minutes later, guy pulled over. He gave me a hand. I said, nah, go ahead, bro. And he went. She's like, wow. We kept walking. A couple cars passed by. Another dude pulled over. I said, oh, you must be. I said, you bad, because we've been out here for 5 minutes and 2 people pulled over. If we was trying to make some money, we would have made some paper. So you gotta let him know if you walk. No, I don't want you to do that because he's too young for that. When he gets older, that's something you want to tell him. You know, when you're walking with your mom, you don't want to put her in those positions. When you're walking with your girl, you don't want to put her in that position and let people think that. So like I was saying, walk on the outside, carry bags, open doors. What am I missing? What am I missing on the chivalry tip? I even say pull the chair out when you go out eating. Pull a chair out. That's something you should also teach your son. But it's not just teaching. You have to show. If you have a family, say you got a family, y'all live together, and it's a family. That means y'all are seeing each other every day. You wake up, you go to sleep with each other. Before work, after work, your time off. So when you're going out to eat, these are the things that you have to show your son, then talk to him about it and explain it. Explain why you're doing these things. Okay? So, besides how to, let's say, keep chivalry alive, those are the things I believe that a few things that I believe are important to teach your son in that aspect. And I was talking about also having them hold a masculine frame, because a lot of our sons, especially if you're at work all the time, and I don't want to talk to the brothers that, yes I do, for the men that ain't around, because there was a time that I was ripping and running. I wasn't around like that. And they pick up feminine traits, and some of us, some men get confused, and we like, oh man, he's going to the left, and it is what it is. If he does, it's your son, so it kind of just is what it is. But when they're younger, you want to teach them to stay in a masculine frame, to conduct themselves. Now, we all got emotions. Children don't know how to control their emotions. I'm talking about as they get older, as they're teenagers and stuff. Oh, no. We got to go back. Because I done skipped some school years. I done skipped elementary school. When you got to teach your child to talk and not hit, and to listen, and to carry himself with respect, and a kid's not gonna understand what respect is. Obviously, they're gonna, especially boys, they're hyper, So you have to do your best to teach them, how to stay in a, not to be super emotional, to stay in your, I don't want you rolling around on the floor throwing tantrums, because that's not what we do. We use our words. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me why you feel this way. It's going to take a lot of patience. But if you talk to them like that, that's how they're going to talk to other people. I grew up with people talking to me with their hands. So that's how I had conversations, with my hands. You said what you had to say with your hands, then I said what I had to say with my hands. Or if I didn't like what you were saying with your words, I would respond with my hands, because that's how I talked, because that's how I was taught. So, as a man now, I can see it, and it's like sad for me to say, but my kids are almost grown. So these are things I can't go back and be like, listen, don't do this. I shouldn't have, we're not gonna act like that. We're not gonna, be around it. We just not gonna do that. So hopefully I can get somebody else, one of y'all right now watching, I can get one of y'all to say, you know what? My parents talk to me with their hands. Then I talk to other people with my hands. In elementary school was crazy. I was getting suspended and everything. And I know I'm not the only one. A lot of people were getting suspended for fighting, because when you grew up in certain neighborhoods, that's all you did. But if you put in the work, hopefully You got yourself out of that area so that your children would not have to go through that. So let's not bring the hood and all that stuff into our suburban households. It's hard to shake it off. I understand that. But our sons want to be just like us. So even if we switch our lives up and go to work all day, come home, take care of the bills in the household, but we're still knocking people out, we're still drinking, we're still partying, we're still calling women all types of names, we're being extremely disrespectful, your son's gonna see that and think it's cool because he thinks you're cool. And because more than likely you're getting away with it, he's gonna think it's all right. And then when he do some crazy stuff that we do, we gonna be mad as hell at him. And I know this from experience. I could not understand why my son was acting a certain way. And then I said, actually his mom said, that boy looks up to you so much, like you have no idea. And then I became a chef, and he said he was trying to go to culinary school. It's like, I went to culinary. I took it because I ain't handle my business when I was your age. I was so fun, so like outside ripping and running because I didn't have the proper guidance. So, fellas, that's something that is so important to teach your sons because you'll think about it later on in life and you can't go backwards and fix it. And your child will be the way he is. And, you know, I done seen some brothers' childs grow up. They sons grow up to be monsters. Monsters. And their fathers are different now. Because they're older and they understand what they was doing was wrong. So, you know, don't be one of those fathers. Right? So you want to make sure your son stays in a masculine frame. Right? You don't want him walking around doing the same stuff his sister do, necessarily doing the same stuff his mother do. You want him to emulate you. So with that comes time. You gotta be around. Because if they're emulating what they see on TV, social media, and then what they see from their mother, they're gonna be feminine criminals. Not necessarily feminine criminals, but feminine thugs. Let's say thugs. Because all thugs aren't necessarily criminals. They just fit the image. Fit the image. Being a thug is an image. It's not really an action, in my opinion. Because you can just look at people and be like, he's a thug. He ain't even got to do nothing. He can just look, dress, walk, talk a certain way, and you'd be like, he's a thug. And he can have a college degree. Alright? You want to teach your son to be confident. These are certain things that a lot of fathers might not necessarily teach their sons. And when your son makes a mistake, you can't beat him down for the mistake. You have to talk to him about it, correct it, and then show him how to fix it. Because if you just critique mistakes and yell on it, but you're not willing to teach them how to fix it, then they're going to continuously make the mistake and then hide it from you. But they continuously make the mistake and not understand how not to make that mistake, or how not to be that way, or how not to take that action. So you have to try to build confidence in them. Let them know, like, you can't just get on them for the bad stuff they do. You gotta also congratulate them for the good stuff they do. You gotta reward good behavior and promote good behavior. Instead of just when they do something good, it's like, cool. But when they do something bad, you like, yo, I should spank you, I should whoop you, blah, 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 blah. Like, if they older, you like, I'm gonna kick you out my house. And they're like, well, I don't know how to fix it because you never taught me how to fix it. You never taught me how to be confident in life. So I'm not confident. So I hang around certain people because I don't have confidence. And when people don't have confidence, they usually have, I'm not going to say they have low self-esteem. Oh, that's what's up. The whole tribe of men that raised you. See, that's wonderful when you got a tribe of men to raise you. When you got a group of men to raise you. You know? That's a whole lot of masculine energy to be around. Which is a good thing when you're young. It's a really good thing when you're young. When you're trying to find out who you are. That's very important. That's very, very important. Um, you have to also teach your son how to be a leader. All right? You have to teach them how to lead and not follow. The kids that follow end up in jail. The kids that follow end up being the crash dummies. The kids that follow are the ones that try the drugs and, God forbid, die. The kids that follow don't make their own decisions. They do not make decisions for themselves. Decisions are made for them by the people leading them. And they are not always going to follow the right people. They're not always going to have the right leaders. You're supposed to be their leader. You're supposed to be their leader so you can teach them how to lead. So that is something very important. You don't go work for somebody else. You be the boss. All right? You don't go work for somebody else to do, say, a raking job. You don't go work for somebody else to do it. Check it out. We'll go buy the equipment and we'll start up your own business, and then you get people to work for you the same way you was going to work for that person. Little things like that. Have him selling waters in the summer and get a team. But he's the captain of that team. When I was growing up, you know how we had little petty cliques and stuff? Like when you was young, you had little petty cliques. You would have, little set from this block over here, little set from this block over here. So there was a team. I'm not gonna say names or stuff like that. There was a little team around my way, and everybody in my group, because it was the older dudes, right? And we was like a few years younger than them. But you end up, as you get a little older, you start to get in that clique. Just about everybody I ran with got in that clique. So I'm not getting in that clique. I'm not a follower. You're not going to be telling me what to do and sending me on crash dummy missions and all that. So I started a little thing. And I was so young. I think I was like 13 or 14. Hooded Thugs. Yeah. I named it Hooded Thugs. So you know how young I was with that name. And guess what color our bandanas were? This is 98. Damn, that make me sound so goddamn. That make me sound so old. This was 98. Okay? And our bandanas were purple. I started a clique called Hooded Thugs, and I was running around in a purple bandana. Because I was not a follower. My father wasn't a follower. My mother wasn't a follower. Nobody in my family were followers. I looked at them, they were all bosses to me. I said, how am I going to follow or join a clique of people that I'm 10 times smarter than? How am I gonna let somebody that I think is half dumb tell me what to do and send me around to do errands and do all that stuff like the other little younger people in my age group was doing? Not me, because I was taught different. Now, regardless of where I went with it, the principles and the morals behind it and how I stood on my own gave me the strength that I carry with me today. The reason why I could be knocked down so many times and get back up and keep going. And I'm talking about on 1,000. Not slow motion. It was for a time. But sometimes you have a, as they call it, an epiphany, and reality strikes. And that old hustle, that old speed, that those old morals, those old lessons, that old nonstop don't quit came back. I'm on 1,000. Why? Because my father made sure I was not a follower. My father told me I was a king. My father told me I was a leader. My father told me when I was in advanced work class and all that stuff, I remember I used to get in trouble because I would bang out the work so fast and just be sitting in class. Or, I would bang out the work so fast and be sitting in class and then get in trouble. Or I didn't want to show them my work because I'm great with numbers, do it in my head. Show me your work. Why? I gave you the answer. Show me how you got it. Okay, I'm going to tell you. This time this equals this. I added it to this. And then I did this times this. And then I took that number and added it with that. And that's how I got the answer. Well, you're not going to pass like that. I had problems like that. I felt like I was too smart. And then I had parents around me. I had a father around me that let me know I was a black king. Let me know I was intelligent. Let me know that I was strong. Let me know that I could do anything I put my mind to. And then also they led by example. When it came to the work ethic, they led by example. And this is why I tell you have to lead by example. You remember growing up when your parents used to say to you, do as I say, not as I do? And you used to look at them and cock your head and be like, what? You're supposed to be my role model. How are you going to tell me not to do something you're doing? And because I think like that, I be having a problem wanting to correct my son on certain stuff. Like, I feel like I'm throwing bricks in a glass house. Kind of, it made me want to change the way I was so that I would have the right to say something. And as his father, I have the right to say something. So, of course, I said something. But it made me feel a certain way about myself. So, what I'm saying is, you got to lead by example. That do what I say as I do does not work. And you have to lead by example. There's certain things you want to instill in your son. If there's certain things you want to instill in your child, fathers, you have to take the time to do it. You can't just talk to them about it and hope that they will do it. You got to make sure they'll do it. Hold on a second. Yeah, so that's another thing. You also want to teach your son how to lead. You want to teach them how to lead in general. Like I was saying, to be a leader, but I'm talking about what it takes to lead. Knowing that you got to take care of the people around you. Knowing that they're going to rely on you. Knowing that they're going to question you in the middle of chaos and expect you to have the answer. Knowing that you have to make decisions not just for yourself, but for the people that you are leading. And then you have to lead them to the right place. That's another thing that's very important. Another thing you definitely have to teach them how to lead, because you want your son to be a leader. You want him to be the head of his household. You want him to be the head of whatever he's doing. So he has to know how to lead. But he also has to know how to take care of the people he's leading. He's gonna have to put in the work, the time. He's gonna have to think about his actions, and whatever he does, how does it affect the people around him? How does it affect the people that he's leading? When he has a problem, can he make a decision immediately? He has to know that he has to make decisions immediately. And you can probably Google something and figure out, tricks and games and stuff like that to help them with quick decision making. Chess, Speed Connect 4 if they're young. Speed checkers. So where they got to make quick decisions. Stuff like that, See, I had my son so young that I did not know what the hell I was doing. And if I had him now, if I had my son as a child now, I would have so much to teach that boy. I would have so much to teach that boy. I got a lot of stuff to teach mine now, but he's, on his own path. He's on his own path. But I still got some stuff to teach him that I'm going to teach him. But I can't teach him everything that I want to teach him. Because he's going to be like, come on, Dad, I don't do that. I don't want to do that. That's not my thing, Dad. Which I respect. Another thing. You want to teach him how to be handy. So when you're fixing things, because you should be fixing things, fellas. When you're fixing things, and you're working on a car, have him come with you. When you're working on the house and stuff like that, have him come with you. When you're mowing the lawn, have him come with you. And explain to him why you're doing this stuff. Because he's supposed to. As a man, you're supposed to. And you can take your daughters too, just so they know how to do the stuff, so they don't have to rely on a man. That's another thing that's important. Like, I taught my daughter how to change a tire and fight and all type. Like, I told her, I want you to have a husband. I need you to be feminine and have a husband and all that. But if something happens, I need you to be able to take care of yourself. So it's important. I know we talking about sons, but I also want you, it's also important to make sure your daughter's around the stuff. Now, she don't got to lift the rocks. She don't got to move the stuff, but you just show it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. And then you start doing some of it, the hard part, and then when it gets easy, here, finish it. Just so she knows. She don't have to do it. You don't want her to do it, but you want her to know how to do it. So, teach your son how to fix stuff. When you go out to work on the car, bring him with you. When you go out to work on the cement wall, when you go out to mess with the roof and the gutters and clean the gutters, when you're raking the leaves, bring them out with you. All right? You want to teach him how to fix stuff. You want to, and when he does, you want to praise him. Like I'm not referring children to dogs, but you know how when you train a dog and he does a good trick and then he does the command and you give him a treat and you're like, yeah, you're supposed to be loud and motivating because they get all excited and then they want to do it again. because they, the treat. You can stop with the treat and just hit them with the excitement, and they just good with the excitement. They might be looking for the treat for a little while, but they'll just get good with the excitement. Like, I made my owner happy. It's like, I made my dad happy. Excitement. The excitement of fixing stuff. And knowing that, like, I did this. And you can be like, and when you're talking about it, you say, my son did that with pride. My son fixed that. Because he's the man. It'll make him want to do stuff. He'll acquire skills. It'll save him a bunch of money in the future. And it's one of the things that help you be a great husband. I'm just saying. Why not? All right? Also, another thing I've been saying a lot lately is no excuses, just solutions. Teach your son, also your daughter. Listen, if there's a problem, don't sit there and talk about all the excuses of why we can't do it. Don't sit around and say, Daddy, I can't accomplish this because I don't have the material, or I don't have the time, or whatever excuse. It's, okay, son, so how are we going to get the materials? How are we going to fix the time? No, it's not going to just be me figuring it out. Let's brainstorm, because this is about you. You have to teach them at an early age to take accountability. You don't put everything on them, but you have those discussions with them, so at an early age they know your decisions affect you. Your decisions affect you. It might inconvenience me, but all in all, it's affecting you. So you have to make solutions. You have to have solutions and not all these excuses. Excuses don't get things done. Excuses make you procrastinate. Excuses leave the problem a problem. We're not going to just talk about problems and make excuses. If you bring a problem to the table, or there's a problem, only come with solutions. If say there's a hole in the wall. Say we punch a hole in the wall, which I never recommend. But are you going to sit there and go, man, there's a hole in the wall, and I'm going to have to paint, and I'm going to have to plaster, and then I got to put the sheetrock there too, and put the joint compound. And no, cut that shit out. It should be, I have to go get this. I'm going to go get it, and I'll be back. And if you don't got the bread, it should be, how are we going to get the money for that? Because we got to get this done. What little side job can I do? Now, the skills that you acquired, I'm talking about fixing the cars, mowing the lawns that you done taught your son and all that stuff, fixing stuff around the house. They can pick up a side job and now pick up some extra money and handle that. Because again, you're teaching your son that he is not paying another man to do nothing he can do. And like I said, it does not mean, I'm not talking about electrically wiring the whole house. I'm not talking about building the house. I'm not talking about replacing the whole roof. I'm talking about painting walls and sheetrock and stuff like that, and changing your brakes and your rotors and your calipers and stuff like that. Stuff that you can just do. Not, oh man, it's going to take me forever to learn how to do this, and I'm only going to do it once because this isn't my career and I won't have to do it ever again. So, yeah, no. Pay somebody that took those years and got the experience. All right? Let's not be one of those. Let's be in reality. All right? I say never pay a man to do or fix anything that you can do. But I'm not going to recommend you go put a new roof on because you went to YouTube Academy and somebody told you it's not going to work. You're going to need some backup. And it's going to take a lot of time. And it's going to take a lot of money. So don't even waste the time and the money. So like I said, I ain't telling you to be like, here. I mean, but it's cool if you could teach them how to rewire a house or like, build a house and stuff like that's dope. But, it's going to take a lot of time and studying, research, and money to teach all of those skills. That's a lot of skills I'm talking about. So I'm talking about surface stuff, minimal stuff, not minimal stuff, medium stuff, surface stuff, and then, working on your cars and stuff like that, fixing the house, doing the yard, little landscaping and stuff like that, stuff like that. You want to teach them those skills because those, like I said, those are also skills. And it'll develop a no excuses, just solutions mindset. You also want to teach them to have an abundance mindset, not a minimal mindset. Abundance. When he's like, oh, this car costs $30,000, I can't get it. No, you want him to be thinking, listen, I know you got some money saved up. You got $100K, so you don't want to spend 30 on the car. So check it out. Find a way. Here's some solutions. Here's some things you can do to make an extra 30 because you want that car. Make an extra 30 so you can get it. That's the abundance mindset. That's the how am I gonna do it, not the I can't do it mindset. The I can't do it mindset keeps you in the same spot forever. The how am I gonna get it accomplished mindset builds. So that abundance mindset is something you also want to teach them. Of course, you want to make sure your son know how to fight. And I don't mean just go beat people up. I mean defend himself. He needs to know how to fight so he can protect his family. He needs to know how to fight because who knows where this world's going to. All right, who knows what the hell's going to be happening in the future. He needs to know how to protect himself and his family. I mean, protect him by any means necessary. I mean, however he has to do it. You have to make sure your son knows how to protect himself, his woman, his children, his mother. When you get old, maybe you. And I know I've heard fathers say, I'm not teaching him how to fight because he's going to get big and knock me out. Type of hater stuff is that? It's your son. If you're worried about your son getting big and knocking you out, then you being a horrible father, and you need to get it together. All right, so that's definitely some. You want to make sure that you teach him how to exercise. You have some gym time, and so he builds his muscles and takes care of himself. How to eat, how to cook. I'm telling you, make sure you teach your sons how to cook, so you don't have to rely on nobody. It's nice to have people that will do stuff for you, but you want to make sure that he does not have to rely on anyone. And I'm not saying not let people help, not have people around. But if shit hits the fan, if nobody else is around, you don't want him stuck not knowing what to do. He needs to know how to wash his own laundry. He needs to know how to clean the house. All right? He needs to know how to cook so he can take care of himself. He needs to exercise, healthy. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people dibble dabble. They experimented, they have fun. It's kind of expected. But you want to make sure they know, because I don't even know if they have dare and stuff anymore. But you want to make sure that he knows what happened, like what drugs do to you. The lives they've ruined. The successful people that had things and died or lost it because of their drug use. The people homeless on Mass Ave, because I'm in Boston. The people homeless on Mass Ave, walking around they call it Methadone Row. People walking around like zombies. So you want to make sure they know, listen, that ain't the path you want to go on. And if you keep him out the streets, more than likely that's not a path that he's going to go on. some grape juice. Some good grape juice, man. You know, I went over the compassion. You know, you want him to be compassionate. You don't want him to be, I don't care about people's feelings and, you know, they weak and blah, blah, blah. Nah, you don't want to raise him like that. You want him to be more caring. You don't want to be a sucker. You don't want to be a simp. You don't want him to be a footstool. But at the same time, you don't want him to be a man with no feelings. Also, I think it's very important to teach our sons to have pride in what they're doing, to have pride in themselves. And you know, they say pride comes before the fall. But you know what? Anybody and everybody that's doing something good in their life, doing something right, got haters, successful, coming up, is prideful in some way, shape, or form. Vanity, you know, the way you look, how your pockets are, where you live, how many trophies you got. You know what I'm saying? Like how many trophies you got, like how many women you got, how many women you had, like stuff that men think about. All right. I also think, you know, besides pride. No, let me go back to what I was saying. I think teaching him pride in what he's doing is very important because it builds character. It builds a confident man. It builds a man that when he does things, he feels proud of himself for doing it. Like, I've accomplished this. I didn't know how to do it, but I learned how to do it. And I accomplished it. So he's proud of himself. Teach him to be proud about his accomplishments. The stuff he does in life matters. The good things he does in life matters. The positivity he exudes when he's walking around and he got people laughing and people are happy to be around him and he's handling his business, you gotta let him know this is something to be proud about. When you graduate, it's something to be proud about. And when you acquire skills and put in the work to be, you know, one of the best versions of yourself, you should be proud of yourself because it takes a lot of work. You got to teach your son as a man, you don't come in this world with value. You have to earn it. You have to work and build yourself and get better and better and better to have value. You don't have it just for being a man. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work like that. You have to build that value. You have to make yourself valuable. I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about around other people. I'm talking about in the world, in your workplace. Make yourself valuable. Pick up skills. You know, when you do something somebody else can't do, you ain't got to show off and stun on them, but, you know, be proud of yourself. Especially when you're doing things other people can't do. That's something you definitely want to teach your son. That's something definitely you want to teach your son to be proud. And I'm going to close it with this one because it's been an hour and you know what? I'm 3 minutes over, but I want to end it with this. Make sure your son knows it is all right to fall. It is all right to make mistakes. Even if it costs you money. Those are paid lessons. Sometimes you make mistakes and they ain't cost you nothing. They be free lessons. Teaches you what not to do. Teaches you what you should have done. And then get up and do it again. And if you fail, just feel better. Every time you fail, make sure you fail better. Don't let it go over your head. If you fail, next time you fail again, fail better. Like I said, they lessons. And get up and do it again. And get up and do it again. Because you're going to win. Because you're going to win. Think about how many losses the people you know took that are winning now. There's so many things that a father to teach his son that I couldn't go over all of them. I thought these were a few important ones. So I spoke on it. Everybody might not agree with all of them, but it kind of is what it is. So we ended the show with that. Thank you for coming to watch Kobe Chandler Men's Room every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Faithfully here on IG at Mr. Breakout, on Facebook Live, on the Kobe Mr. Breakout Live, Kobe Mr. Breakout page. All right, so I'll see y'all next Tuesday at 11 p.m. This video will end up on YouTube, on Kobe Chandler Men's Room. That's the YouTube page. So go on there, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to be a guest on one of the shows, send me a DM, and I'll get you on here. I'll be posting next week's topic tomorrow. All right, have a good night, y'all. Stay blessed.